All right, we are live. Welcome back to another episode of Ask a Clutter Boss. I am Jess Marcy. I'm your Clutter Boss for today, and this is the internet's best weekly decluttering advice show. I'm really excited today, and oh yeah, if you're here live, say hi in the comments. I'm really excited today because I stumbled upon a definition of sustainability, and I really want to share it with you. We have been talking a lot on this show and in Clutter Boss in general about what happens, the reality of what happens to things when we throw it out, when we donate, when we pass along items, right? It's pretty depressing, the state of the world with stuff. No question about that. But there is a way that we can show up in a way that is really in alignment with our values and make sustainable choices. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Madonna. Um, so I've been researching about clothing and what happens to clothing after we donate it. And it's like depressing story after depressing story. But I stumbled upon this post, this internet post, Instagram post, and it had a definition for sustainability that I wanted to pass along to everybody on this episode of Ask a Clutter Boss. Sustainability comes from appreciating what you have and purchasing from a place of genuine requirement. Sustainability comes from appreciating what you have and purchasing from a place of genuine requirement. When we talk about sustainable choices, we get down all of these rabbit holes of what is the best choice that we can make. The reality is, it is almost impossible for us as individual consumers to have all of the information required to make a truly sustainable choice. And oftentimes, when we think we're making a sustainable choice, we realize later that that choice had unintended environmental consequences that we just didn't know about. I've shared before on this show that I read the book Cobalt Red, which is all about mining for precious minerals to make batteries that power our cell phones and our cars. And I, prior to reading that book, would have told you that electric is the way to go, right? I would have said that this is what we need. This is a solution. But the reality is, once again, we have traded one environmental win for another massive environmental loss. It's so absolutely impossible as consumers to really have the information to know what is the most sustainable or best course of action, which is why I love this so much. Sustainability comes from appreciating what you already have and purchasing from a place of genuine requirement. That is probably the best guiding sentence about sustainability that I have heard. Genuine requirement. Yes, absolutely. Good morning, Sam. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Lorene. So that's my little note to start us off. We should really make an effort to not judge other people's choices when they decide they're going to throw something out, when they decide they're going to buy something, because we're all operating from a place, if you're in our community and trying to become a conscious consumer, a sustainable consumer, we're all operating from an intention that is such a good intention. And we're all working with the best information that we have available to us at this time. And nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. That's right. So we're all doing the best that we can. And that's what we need to honor and take with us moving forward. All right, we did have a question come in. And if you have a question that you did not submit, just feel free to pop it into the comments. We had a question come in. Any suggestions that are truly fireproof box or containers for vital documents? So, okay, the reality is, if you have a fire in your house, even a fireproof box can get so hot that the documents can just turn to ash on the inside of them, right? So is there any at-home thing that is going to survive from a fire? I don't have a suggestion for that. I would say if you have vital documents that are very important, putting them into a like a vault box at a bank, like getting one of those bank boxes, can make some sense. If there's something that you cannot risk losing, I would put it into one of those boxes that you can get at the bank that I think that's more fireproof. I think they have, it's a better solution. At home, there's not a lot of great solutions for actually fire. There are fireproof things that will keep yourself safe to a point in a fire. Now, if you have vital documents, one easy thing that you can do is take a picture and back it up to the cloud. Take a picture and email it to yourself. And in the subject of the email, say like vital docs or, birth certificate or whatever. So that way you can search your email if you need to. You can search your cloud documents. And also know where to go to replace these items if you need to replace them. It's usually city hall. It's pretty standard where we go to replace these documents, but where know where to go to replace them. Hi, Carrie. Good morning. Okay, another point of clarification. So, on a recent Ask a Clutter Boss, we talked about time. And I shared on that Ask a Clutter Boss that the reason we're decluttering is so that when life happens to us, when we have an emergency situation, well, there's a lot of reasons that we declutter, but when it comes to time, we are buying back future time. We are also setting ourselves up for success or relative success when we have an emergency situation occur in our lives. So I hear a lot in the summertime, oh, things are busy. I don't have time to declutter. I don't have time. There's a lot of stuff going on. I just want to remind everyone we are putting aside this time and committing to this process because during the year, there is always normal obligations on our time that vary throughout the seasons. What we learn as we get older and older is that our time is truly at a premium when there are emergency situations that happen, things that we don't plan for, things that are new and different. When somebody is sick, when somebody dies, when we are caretaking for somebody, when there is somebody loses a job, those emergency time periods are when it is so helpful to be decluttered and have habits set, like your habits are part of you. That's what helps you get through those time periods. So when you find yourself saying, I don't have time to do this right now, I want you to really step back and say, you know what? Either this is a priority or this is not a priority. And if it's a priority, I'm going to find the time to do it because I want to be prepared for the good and the bad that is coming in the future. And we all have good and bad coming. That is how life goes. I'm doing this to set myself up for an easier time when there is emergency things going on and my time is absolutely at a premium. All right. Not too many questions today and not too many thoughts to share. If there's any questions, pop them in here. But we can also have a short Ask a Clutter Boss this week. Hello and good morning. Thank you. Thank you, Madonna, for that note about our calendar. Yeah, lots of people sharing that they still have old cars. That's fantastic. You do you. You do what is best for you. If you've not read Cobalt Red, it is a fantastic book. Really helps put into perspective some bigger things about the electric vehicle and cell phone and battery situation in the world. The more you know. Beth's shelving to organize just a few bins in the garage. So, Madonna, that's going to be probably uh, more of a personal choice. If you have just a few bins, I would just get a shelf that accommodates just a few bins. I would not get a shelf that has a lot of extra space because you know what happens when we have extra space, we like to fill it. So I would find something that fits what you're trying to store. And that's going to last in the garage, which can be a kind of dustier, dirtier, has maybe more moisture than other areas in your house, and something that you like to look at, because at this point on your decluttering journey, we should really be creating spaces that we love. You've decluttered a ton. It's time to create a home that you love. So make sure the shelving is something that you enjoy looking at. It is very functional, easy to put the bins onto and off of, does not have too much extra space, and will withstand being in a garage environment. So, yeah, those are my tips. All right, my friends, it's been so nice seeing you today. Next week, we'll have a more full Ask a Clutter Boss. Don't forget to email your questions in, um, and go on, use the extra 10 minutes that you were going to be listening to declutter 10 items. It's your little challenge for today. I will see you all next week.